All right, so let's go over our science. Put that back in your book, guys. Let's go over our science. So we talked about how God is the creator of everything. And when God created everything, he had a special plan and a special design in the way that he made everything. Everything that he created, he made in order and for it to operate a certain way. And that was all a part of his plans from the beginning when he created everything. He planned how each part would work together. So on page 2, we turn the page. We talked about how God knew exactly everything that we would need when he created us. And he also made the world to have a perfect balance. This means that everything that God created was perfectly made, and he made just the right amount of everything, and just the way that it works is perfect to where the earth has a perfect balance of everything. So we talked about insects on page 3, how insects, there's a ton of insects in the world, right? But insects have a purpose, they do. And there's also something else that God set in order to prevent insects from being too many, right? So insects help because they carry pollen from one plant to another. Plants would die without the insects transferring the pollen. And if the insects did not transfer pollen, the plants would die. And therefore, us humans, we get oxygen from plants. So we would not have oxygen from plants if insects didn't pollinate the flowers. So you see how God caused all of that to work. He has insects, they pollinate the flowers. We get oxygen from the plants. Not only do we get oxygen from plants, but we get food, clothing, homes, and medicine as well from plants. So God made all of that work together, work perfectly. It's a perfect balance. Also, the way he keeps the in balance on page 4, the balance of insects is birds will eat insects because there's so many insects in the earth, but birds will eat them, right? A lot of birds eat insects, and so that helps to keep the number of insects down. It's not so many insects all over the earth, but because birds will eat them, it kind of helps to keep everything completely balanced. And so these are things that God has set in motion since the beginning. It's nothing we can do to change it, to make it better, to make it worse. God is the one who set this. And so when he created everything, he had a design, he had a plan, and there are so many ways we see it. And so next week, we'll get into our next unit, which is unit 2, where we will, chapter 2, where we will discuss our bodies and how God made our bodies to work perfectly just the way that it is. Okay, so that's it for science. You have a pretty easy test this week. It'll have just a few questions about balance, God creating everything, how he made everything, and that's it. All right, let's go to social studies. We're going to go to page 74. I'm sorry, 75. Page 75, we're talking about the flag this week. All right. All right, so remember we broke down our country, our state, and our city. All right, so remember the name of our country is the United States of America. A shorter term is America. That is the name of our country. Our state, right, what's our state? Louisiana. Dennis, your state is California. And our city that we live in here is Lafayette, Dennis? I don't know. What's your city, Dennis?
Atchison City.
Okay, good. So that is his city. So we all have the same country though. We all live in the same country, which is the United States of America. And everyone lives in different states. We live in Louisiana, Dennis in California. We live in Lafayette as our city. Okay, so we all live in different parts of the world, but like I said, we all live in America. Okay. All right, so our country has a flag. Whenever you see that flag, you automatically know that we are talking about America because of that flag. Every country has their own flag, and we have our own as well. So on page 75, we kind of started to break down the history of the American flag. Where did it come from? Why did it come about? And all of that, okay? So the flag of the United States of America. Page 75. So after America became free from England, we decided as a country that we needed our own flag, right? Because now we were independent from England, we needed our own flag to show that we were now our own country. So America decided to come up with their own flag. So they began to ask people to create flags, and people made all different types of flags. There's the white one, An Appeal to Heaven. Then there's the yellow one, Don't Tread on Me. These were all some of the examples of some of the flags that were made originally before the flag we know today. But in 1775, that changed. Congress, who are the people who make laws, they all got together and they chose some men and they decided what the flag would look like. These men got together and together they were like, we're going to come together and we're going to decide what kind of flag we want and what we want the flag to look like, right? So it took them 2 years to figure this out. So in 1777, they finally got together and they decided this is what the flag will look like. They said resolve. The flag of the United States will have 13 stripes to represent the 13 colonies, the first 13 states or colonies. They're going to be red and white. Red is for courage, white is for purity. Then we're going to have a field of blue in the top left square of the flag. We'll have a field of blue, and on the field of blue, we will have 13 stars. Now, that was the original flag. They had 13 stripes, 13 stars, okay? So turn to page 76. So that was how the original flag was planned. Now the flag, it still does have the same number of stripes, but now our flag has 50 stars because we have 50 states now. But at that time, they only had 13, 7 red stripes, 6 white stripes, 7 red, 6 white stripes, okay? So they needed someone to sew a flag together. So we don't know exactly, but there's a story of a lady named Betsy Ross. They found her and they asked her, she was a seamstress and she had a shop. So they went to her shop and they asked her if she could sew the American flag together. They gave her a picture of what they wanted it to look like. And she indeed sewed it together. And that's the flag that we know of, you know, the flag that we see today. Now that's the original flag. I believe that flag is still in existence today. And I think the Smithsonian in DC, you could see it there, like the actual flag, like the real flag that that was originally sewed together way in 1777. I think it's still, I believe that's where it is in DC, the museum in DC. Anyway, so yes, so she sewed this flag together, she put it together, and now America had a flag to show the country that they are now a free and independent country. Okay, so 77, there's a holiday that is there to celebrate the flag. So it's called Flag Day. It's celebrated on June 14th. Flag Day is on June 14th because on June 14th, 1777, that is when George Washington presented the flag to Congress. So on that day, June 14th, 1777. Do you think that's going to be a test question? Probably so. That's why I keep saying it. On June 14th, 1777, that is when George Washington presented the flag to Congress, and that is why Flag Day is celebrated on June 14th, 1777. So it's when Americans will celebrate the flag. It's just a historical day for our country, okay? So this is our flag. This is the history of our flag. So they have like other stuff, but that's in your book for those who have their book 78 and 79. And also they have like, did you know? We're not testing on that. We're just testing on the history of the flag, where it came from, because we will come back to this lesson again later on in the school year, okay? All right, so that is it for our science and our social studies. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our math lesson today. So everybody, we just reviewed science and social studies. That was it. We just kind of went over our pages.
I was trying to go into the part where it said second grade, but I guess that one didn't work.
That wasn't what?
Because I was trying to go in the other link that said second, but then when I went into first, then I saw you. And then I was like, I think you're teaching the first grader. So I was like, I left and then I came back and I was like, this
yeah, I
is
did
my
see
class.
that. I saw you came in and then it left. I said, well, maybe it didn't work.
I just didn't know what was happening.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm here. You're here. We're here. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our math. We won't be super long on Zoom today. So praise the Lord. All right. All right, let's go ahead and so we practice counting. Let's go ahead and practice counting by tens again today. We'll practice from 10 all the way to 200 again. So let's begin with 10. So 10,
20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110,
120,
130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190.
Well, no, it'll be 210.
Oh, 210.
Yeah, but we're not going that far. All right, awesome. All right, let's go over some doubles facts. So let me hear some examples of some doubles facts. Let's see who knows their doubles facts. Okay, could you give me some doubles facts? Okay, Naraya, what you have? 10 plus 10, which equals 20. 10 plus 10 is 20. Okay, what you got? Doubles fact.
7 plus 7 is 8.
No, it's not 18 either.
I know it's
7 plus 7 is a doubles fact, but I would like the answer.
I know it's
Carson, what is 7 plus 7?
I know 14.
14. Good. Dennis, do you have a doubles fact?
20 plus 20.
3 plus 3, you said? Okay, 3 plus 3.
6.
Oh, 6 plus 6 equal, 3 plus 3 equals 6. Good. Okay, anybody else have another doubles fact? Okay, let's see. Carson, give me one. Put it in your book size. I'm sorry, I can't hear you because someone is talking to me. 9 plus 9 equals 18. Good. Do we have any other double facts?
Wait, 20 plus 20 equals
20 plus 20 is 40, but that's all right, so good. So those are some of our double facts. Today we're gotta introduce some new math facts, which are +0 and +1. These are facts we kind of are familiar with already, but it's just a refresher. All right, so we have +0. So guys, remember, anytime we are adding, well, how much is 0? Let's talk about that first. How much is 0?
0.
None. Thank you. 0 means none. That means it's nothing. So if I have 5 and then I add 0, I'm not adding anything. So that's important to remember when we're adding +0. That means we're not adding anything, right? So whatever you started with is what you're going to finish with. So let's go ahead and do these facts. So 1 + 0, what would it equal to? Tell me.
0, 1,
1. Thank you. 2 + 0.
2,
3 + 0.
3,
4 + 0.
4,
5 + 0.
5,
6 + 0.
6,
7 + 0.
7,
8 + 0.
8,
9 + 0.
9,
And 10 + 0.
10.
Awesome. So these are +0 facts. You will see these in your book. Now we have +1. When we're adding +1, it's like we're counting the number that's ahead. So pretty easy as well. We have 1, we're adding 1 more. So 1 + 1 will equal
2,
2 + 1,
4,
3. Let's think before we shout answers. 3 + 1,
4,
4 + 1,
5,
5 + 1,
6,
6 + 1,
7,
7 + 1,
8,
8 + 1,
9,
9,
9 + 1,
10,
and 10 + 1.
11.
Awesome. All right, let's go over the facts. Let's start with 0. 1 + 0 equals 1. 2 + 0 equals 3. 2, 2. 3 + 0 equals 3. 4 + 0
equals 4, 4, 4,
0 equals
0 equals 5, 5, 5, 6 + 0 equals 6, 6, 6 equals 7, 7, 8 + 0 equals 8, 8, 8, 9 + 0 equals 9, 9, 9, 10, 10.
All right, and +1.
1 + 1 equals 2, 2, 2. 2 + 3 equals 2, 3. 4 + 1 equals 3 + 1 equals 5, 5. 5 + 1 equals 6, 6, 6. 6 + 1 equals 7, 7, 7. 7 + 1 equals 8, 8, 8. 8 + 1 equals 9, 9, 9. 9 + 1 equals 10, 10, 10. 10 + 10 equals 10 + 0.
10 + 1 equals 11. Thank you.
Look at the board.
All right, it's just, I don't know, it's just.
I moved it. It's like not giving me the right answers. What? Yeah, it's making my mind.
All right, awesome. All right, let's go ahead and practice time. So remember, we have 2 hands on our clock. We have our long hand, which is our minute hand, and our short hand, which is our hour hand. We have learned how to tell time to the hour, right? If your long hand is on the 12, that means o'clock, brand new hour. We just have to figure out where the hour hand is. All right, let's look at the first one. What's my time? Avaya?
Ten o'clock.
10 o'clock. Good. That's Kendall. Thank you for raising your hand, Kendall, and waiting so patiently for me to call you. Yeah. Okay, next one. Time, Dennis.
Or 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Good. Come on now. Yeah. Okay, last one.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Awesome. Good job. So that is how we tell time. Y'all know that. All right, let's practice least and greatest. So remember, whenever we compare numbers, we have numbers that are least, which means they are less, and numbers that are greater, which means they are bigger. Sometimes you can compare numbers and you can put them in order from least to greatest, which is that what we're gonna do. What? Now watch. All right, so let's look. We have 4, 6, 10, and 2. Let's start with least. Which one is the least out of the 4? Carson? 2, smallest one. Next one, which one is the next smallest number behind 2?
What?
There's no 1?
Oh.
Kinley?
4.
4. Okay, next we have 6 and 10. Dennis, which one will be next?
6.
6. And then obviously our greatest number is 10. All right, so I have 3 more numbers, 21, 28, 24, least to greatest. Which one will be our smallest out of the 3? Which one will be our smallest out of the 3? Kinley? 21. Which will be our next smallest number? Carson? 24, and then obviously our biggest one is 28. Awesome. All right, good job. So that's it. Yep. Science and studies math. All right, go ahead and get out your spelling. That's it for math. Yeah, our lessons aren't flying, y'all. It's because we don't have a lot that we cover. So it'll get longer. Trust me, it's gonna get a lot longer. All right, first grade, you can turn your no. Our spelling ready? Wanna go over? Okay, go ahead and let's get it ready.
Oopsie. Nice spelling words.
Okay, good. Did y'all do the pages already for spelling or not yet? All right, we're gonna just go right list. That's what we're gonna do today, actually. All right, so let's start with number 1. Rack. R-A-C-K. Rack. 2. Rake. R-A-K-E. Rake. 3. Lick. L-I-C-K. Lick. 4. Like. L-I-K-E. Like. 5. Back. B-A-C-K. Back. 6. Bake. B-7. Socks. S-O-C-K-S. Socks. 8. Bites. B-I-K-E-S. Bites. 9. Kick. K-I-C-K. Kick. 10. Fake. F-A-K-E. Fake. 11. Rock. R-O-C-K. Rock. 12. Make. M-A-K-E. Make. 13. Of. O-F. Of. 14. What? W-H-A-T. What? That's probably hers because she sits next to you. 15. Have. H-A-V-E. Have. All right, let's look at your Greek and Latin. I'll pull it up here. All right, your Greek word is hippos. H-I-P-P-O-S. Hippos, and it means horse. And your Latin word, Felis. F-E-L-E-S. Felis, and it means awesome. All right, so you have to do your workbook pages today. That's your assignment for spelling. All right, Vi, you have a question for me?
I didn't get to tell you what I wanted to tell you after the first class.
Okay, what was it?
It was, I told you I didn't have a good yesterday and like Saturday and
The
Sunday.
weekend? Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Well, I'm glad you're good now though, Abaya. All right, so that is it for us today, guys. We did our not phonics. We did our science, social studies, and math, and then we just went over spelling. So go ahead and finish your workbook pages. I think you have your math workbook pages, phonics, if you didn't do all that already, okay? So y'all have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow for our phonics test, okay? Bye-bye.